Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome back to another video on BeamNG Drive. This time, Race Mania episode number 5. If you did miss the last one or the previous ones in this playlist, definitely do go and check the ones out so you know the rules for this series and just the spectacular crashes that have happened in the previous videos. So if you did watch the last video, which you should have done before watching this one, you'll know that there's 2 new cars for this time. And one of those new cars is the car at the front, which is the Pigeon, a 3-wheeled car, so it's basically a Robin Reliant. It's the van variant, but I think the back of it is just hollow inside, so I don't think there's actually anything inside that. And the second car is the best car from last time, which you also know is hollow inside, so it's the pizza car. You know, from where the bonnet ends, so from the lights forward and that whole section, that's completely hollow, so if that gets hit during the run, that could cause some major issues later on. Then in third is the car that needs to win, which is the Sunburst, once again the 2-litre 4-wheel drive turbo variant. Then in fourth is the second of the new cars, the Barstow Night Snake, so really powerful supercharged V8 engine in the front of this muscle car. You've noticed that the gaps between the cars have varied from last time. That's because in the testing runs the Pigeon is really slow accelerating, so the pizza car's a bit further back than it was to the Fiat in the last episode, so all the other cars have just moved back a bit as well. So that means the drag Barstow is a bit further back. I mean, last time it started where the curbing starts on the left over there. This time it's just where the cones are at pit entry. So this time, as once again, before I start what the cars are, remember to comment down below which car you think is actually going to take victory. And honestly, I'm going to have to say, I think the Sunburst. I mean, it's got good acceleration, decent top speed, so I think it's in a good position to take another victory. And where should we start from on board this time? I want to start on board from here, the Night Snake, to see if we can get going, because it is a really powerful car and it might have a few issues putting the power down, which it already is having issues putting the power down, and it's gone straight off the track. But the only problem now is the the drag car coming the other way, and oh, this is not going to be pretty. Are they going to make contact? No, they're not. What about everything else? Did everything else survive? Oh no, the Pigeon's doing a bit of a wobble, but it looks like it's okay. The pizza car's got into the lead with a little bit of a dent on the front, so it's nudged it out of the way clearly. And now then, coming up the hill, the Pigeon's bouncing along. It's going to get around from behind there by the Sunburst. Sunburst's on fire from that. I saw some sparks. I think something's on fire. Something is on fire and it shouldn't be. Okay, but now the Sunburst gets up now into second place. The Barstow's catching up. What about the oh, okay, this is problematic. I'm gonna have to try and turn you around and hope it can get going again. And let's just make sure nothing else is going to happen so far. I mean, there's a bit of a gap between everything else so far, so it should be okay, but I knew this car was powerful, but I didn't think the AI, because the AI drive the car slower than their potential, so I didn't think it was going to have issues like what it is doing. So hopefully this should get it going again, but let's see if anything else has crashed yet. No, everything else seems to be going alright so far. Let's just see if the King Snake can get going. It's not really going anywhere, is it? The Barstow is rapidly catching up on the Pigeon, which is just flapping away. Okay, this is going to be painful. I can already see this. Okay, the Bastow's on the brakes, interestingly. Now it's going to do a really hard ram on the back here with the Pigeon. This is not going to be pretty for the Pigeon. Now the Pigeon's gone, has it? I mean, it's going to be side-by-side contact, but the Barstow makes its way through, relatively unscathed from that. The Pigeon's got some decent straight line speed. Pizza car's in the lead, and the King Snake isn't even at turn 1 yet. Okay, so it's going around in a circle again. This car's being very problematic, and it's just honestly, I'm expecting good things from this car, because in the test runs it drove normally. So let's try this again and turn it back round, and just hope. I think if I can get it on the right line, it will stop wiggling and just costing itself a load of time. Okay, let's try from there, and I just hope that nothing else has had a massive crash yet. No, but the Barstow is coming up to the end. of the straight, so I'm going to have to take a look at whether the Barstow can actually stop this time. Is it going to stop now? It's reached the top of the course. It's going to be heavy under braking. Is it going to make the corner this time? Yes, it is. So I think it's learned from last time. The King Snake, how's that? The King Snake's now finally going. Now it's started wiggling its way off the straight. But it definitely needs to get out of last place if it wants to get through into the next round. But it shouldn't have any trouble catching the Pigeon if it actually gets going. Now looking from the Sunburst, which is a car that needs to win, which is completely, well, I was going to say it was completely damage free until then. It's got a little bit dent on the back bumper, but that's going to be, that's nothing. All these boosts from the Barstow are just allowing the Sunburst to catch right onto the back of the pizza car, and the Barstow with another huge ram on the back. Oh, that's done a bit of a dent to the front, but you know, the bonnet on the Sunburst isn't the strongest feature of the car. So coming into braking out, the pizza car loss is going to be a bit out of control. So on the curbing, can you hold it around? It's going to have to use two cars to brake, and now the pizza car is going round in the circle. Let's get on board now with the pizza car. Now put it back now into full speed. Is the pizza car going to be okay from this? There's a bit of a tap on the Barstow, but I think it's going to get going from that relatively easily. But now looking on board from the Sunburst, which is now in the lead. It's where it needs to be, but can you hold off these monstrous rams from the Barstow? Coming through the S section here, there's not going to be anything really that the Barstow can do. Yeah, King Snake got some some good acceleration. Now it's actually going in a straight line. The Pigeon is not going anywhere very fast. The pizza car is now in, just while it's only P3, but P3 is fine for it because it hasn't won a round. We can stay in P3. It'll be through into the next one. And now Sunburst, the bit bumper looks a bit worse for wear. I know this going round, it's going round, and they just avoid contact. But I think Sunburst may actually no. I thought the Sunburst were going a bit faster than that, so I thought the Sunburst was going to hit into the wall. Now it's just going to do a really nice J-turn actually and get going again, but is it going to cut in front of the pizza car? I think it is. And this is going to be painful for the pizza car, because you know it's hollow at the front, and that could have gone worse. That could have gone a lot worse. The Pigeon has, for some reason, stopped moving. Is it dead? Let's put it on disabled. Does the Pigeon still drive? No, the Pigeon's dead. Okay, here comes the King Snake though. So this is going to be painful. Like I say, like it's just on the racing line. The King Snake right into the back of the Pigeon, and let's kick a car when it's down. Why don't you, Night Snake? And this is going straight into the barrier. I can see now for these two, and this is going to be painfully. It's going to nudge into the wall, but what damage has that done? That's done quite a bit of damage to the back, or to the front of the Night Snake, and easily to the back of the Pigeon. But the Pigeon's dead, so it doesn't make any difference. And there's a secondary hit there as well. And you know the King Snake had enough trouble going in a straight line in the first place, but now it goes for another nudge on the Pigeon. I mean, what is its problem with the poor little Pigeon? Now then, does the Night Snake... Okay, it's going to have issues now going around in the circle. But what about the fight up front? The Pigeon's definitely seen better days. The Sunburst is now pulling away from the pizza car, which isn't actually faring too badly after the ram on the front of it. So now I'm going to have to turn off the Night Snake so we can turn it back round, go in the right direction. Because this thing, you know, from the start, this thing had enough trouble going in a straight line in perfect condition. I don't know how it's going to cope now when it's definitely not in perfect condition. Let's turn it off now. Oh, this thing turns horribly once you stop controlling it. It's definitely pulling massively. And it's going to hit the wall now, isn't it? Because I can't turn it. Oh no, just managed to save it. So now let's get it going in the right direction. Slow the pace right down. And that's going enough in a straight line, I think, to be okay. He wants to put it back into random. So now, what's it going to do? Is it going to get going? Is it going to power slide? But there we... No, it's going. Okay, problem averted. Okay, the Barstow already rocketing its way down the straight, whereas the Sunburst is pulling away, as you would expect, from the pizza car, since it's faster. The King Snake is now limping heavily. The Barstow... Is it going to stop this time, though, at the end of the straight? That's the main question. Is it actually going to stop when it hits the end? Because, yeah, it's got it's a bit dented, but damage-wise, it's okay. There's a bit of steam coming out the top of it as well, so, then that might be the brakes cooking. So now, coming up to the top of the hill now, the end of the straight. Can he actually stop? It's not even on the brakes. It's going to go late on the brakes once again. He made it around here last time on the first lap. Is he going to make it around here this time? He's going to be having a braking. No, he's done the same thing again as he did last time. He's going straight on. It's going even faster. And this is going to be painful into the wall once again. And oh, that is a hard crunch on the front of the Barstow. He's done the same thing as last time. Gone way too fast. And it's now on fire. Which isn't going to do any favours. Is that... Okay, that bumper, I think, is stopping the wheel from getting onto the track. So I'm going to remove the front bumper from there, because I can see I think it is definitely lifting the wheel off the ground. So now it's going to need to get hold of the front bumper. I hope it doesn't pull anything else off, like I did last time when I tried to pull a bit of the bodywork off, and it ended up ripping off the entire wheel. So now I just need to pull this way clear now. Okay, it's flying out of the way, that should be alright. But now then, can the Barstow get back on track? Literally. Or is he just going to do what he did last time, reverse into the wall again? It's going to nudge into it, but... Okay, how far behind is the Sunburst? The Sunburst is here! The Sunburst is now at the top of the straight! Okay, the Barstow is going mental. The Barstow is going absolutely mental. Let's get on board now with the pizza car. Because if this could go very wrong for the pizza car. And is it going to go very wrong for the pizza car? The Barstow is right on the line. And... Oh, that's so close. But the Sunburst is in the lead once again, exactly where it needs to be. And for the Barstow, I don't know what it's doing. It's just driving along the grass. It seems to get really confused on the grass. Now then, can you get turned back round? It's doing something at least. And now the Sunburst isn't actually pulling away from the pizza car. I think the pizza car might actually be catching up somehow. So unless there's some damage on the Sunburst that we can't see. And the Nice Snake might actually get lapped before the end. The Barstow is still exploring the track, and I now think it wants to go the wrong way. Okay, now it's took this long, but now it's got confused, and I think I was more confused about what the car was doing when it was on the grass than the AI getting confused about which direction it's meant to be going in. So now I have to pull the handbrake, which I'm surprised a drag car does have a handbrake, and oh, stop. Oh no, that hasn't worked. This thing really... Okay, the brakes are dead. The brakes are absolutely dead in this thing. But now can we get it turned back around in the right direction? Oh, the understeer as well. It's got basically one wheel steering. Can it actually get turned? Oh, wow. The understeer in this thing's not going to get around the rest of the course very quickly. And maybe not even at all. It might be even worse than what he did last time when he has 3 wheels. But now get it back going again in the right direction. Which it should now be running off the track. Okay, the Barstow is being a bit of a special case in this one. The Sunburst is not too far from the finish. The Nice Snake needs to make it onto the second lap to get through into the next round. I think the Barstow is going to get going now. We're going to ride the curb very heavily. And don't tell me it's got stuck. It's got stuck? No, it's reversing off. But now I want to look where the Sunburst is in relation to the Nice Snake. Is right behind it, and oh, that is a hard hit. You can just see the crumpling on the back of both of the cars there. But now it's the Nice Snake that's going to come off the worst of the two as it gets looped round and into the pit lane. But now, is it going to pull back out now? The pizza car gets through. So now then, how's the Sunburst doing in all of this? The Sunburst looks to be okay, surprisingly. And the Sunburst could actually become the first car to win 2 rounds in a row. It's coming up to the finish line now, so it's not going to be too long until it gets there. And unless it just blows up now, then the Sunburst is actually going to win with the pizza car not too far behind it for the 2nd round in a row. And now the Sunburst does, in fact, take victory once again. So, once again, the Sunburst, just with a good compromise of straight line speed and acceleration, wins once again, and it's going to be the pizza car to come home in 2nd place. But this time, can it actually stop though before it hits into the back of the Sunburst? That's going to be the main question. I'll put this onto stopping as well, and let's see if it stops before it rams into the back of the Sunburst. And no, it's going to go for the ram once again. I mean, the front of the crash structure is already gone. So I don't get why it just can't stop. The brakes are shot on this car as well. But not as hard a hit as what it was last time. So I'll put it back now into full speed. And who's next across the finish line? It will be the Night Snake, which is a lap down, so that's out of the next round. The Barstow is being special. What is it doing? I mean, yeah, the turning's absolutely shot on this thing. But I didn't think it was going to be this bad. Okay, it's got lost again, I'm imagining. No! It stopped, so it wants to go this way. But it just can't actually turn. Okay, so let's try this again. Come on, Barstow. You really are an interesting car, but okay, you absolutely don't. Look at that. That is on full lock. And then some. And it just won't turn. I think I may have to forfeit the Barstow, because now it's got stuck in the gravel trap because it doesn't stop either. Okay, where can I pull it out from? I'm going to try and pull it out from there. There we go, that worked. Okay, let's try and get this going again. Back on the road. Back on the road. Okay, floor it through the gravel trap. That's also an option. No, it's not, because it got stuck again. Okay, where's the king snake? That's the next thing I'm interested in. Where is the king snake? The king snake's dead, is it? Well, it's not going. Yeah, the king snake's dead. So it's all now down to the Barstow for whether or not it can actually get to the finish line. Well then, update on the Barstow. It eventually dragged itself to here, but you see, I have to rip off most of the front of the car. And well, the engine died, so the Barstow is actually out of the next round. So there's only going to be 2 cars getting through into the next round. And it's going to be the pizza car, which I think still should drive okay, despite its front contact, because that's only done right in front of it where there's absolutely nothing there, literally. It's just hollow inside, and yeah, the pizza car still drives alright, and the pizza car, once again, comes home in second place to this time's winner once again, which is the Sunburst. And the Sunburst really has proved to be a pretty decent combination, although it is smoking a bit. It's lost a bit of speed, but I think it's still fairly okay. As for the Night Snake, it's just died here after not even completing 1 lap. I think all its start line issues with the wiggling is really what killed it. The Barstow just can't stop, and that's definitely what killed it. And I don't know what killed the Pigeon, honestly. Because, you've seen, it looks okay, but it just stopped for no reason. So I don't get what happened with the Pigeon, so it's really not been much luck for the front-running cars. So that's been Race Mania episode 5. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And remember to check out my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, which will be linked in the description down below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.